Not good.
Hello, I'm Hardik. I'm marketing head in the Softhealer Technologies, and with my colleague Sneha Johan. She's a HR, and today we have special guest from our best partner from Softhealer. He's Mr. Moritz from Melchers. Hello, Moritz sir.
Hello, Hardik.
Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm very good today. How are you?
Yes, sir. I'm also fine. And so today here we meet for the customer feedback, valuable feedback for our company. So please tell me about our company. How do you feel like here?
As I mentioned before in our other meeting, I only have to say very good things. No, thank you very much for having me here and having me also for the last few days. It was a very productive time. So what is the impression? I mentioned it also before, like one of the main reasons what I like very much working together with Softhealer is that you have a very deep level of technical understanding of Udo, and that is one of the main things I really appreciate much, because we as a customer, as a user of the software, we need your technical input, and we only when we come to you with a problem, we not only want a solution, we want to have a good solution. So in order to provide a good solution, we need your feedback on the technical side. So you need to explain us what is possible, what is not possible, and sometimes it's possible, but even if it's possible, maybe it's not a good idea to do it this way. And that is exactly where I see basically one of the biggest value you bring, that you understand it and always guide us and push us in the right direction of finding the right solution. And I think this is one of the biggest benefits I see and what I like very much, and which I haven't seen in other partners. The other thing is I like very much is the responsiveness of communication. So I also mentioned that before. I think we have a good communication. Usually the response time is very fast, just a few hours, even sometimes a few minutes. The way we work in this kind of group-based, many people are involved, so there's always somebody who can help there. It's almost like like a help desk, even though it's not a help desk. But sometimes you face some issues in the main, you write in the group, and immediately somebody is responding and helping, even though that person might not be the actual person responsible for fixing that problem, but somebody is there responding. And that also helped us a lot in the past for when we had like some quick issues with our main system.
Okay, how do you ensure that Softhealer will be the best solution with the huge old partners?
I think we were just very lucky finding you. It's just a very lucky coincidence. No, we work with other old partners as well, but in the end we landed here because of basically just these two reasons I mentioned. So we just got the best support, and in the end, I think you have to work with different partners and find if there's a match. It's like I always say also, in our business, there is not the best supplier or there's not the best product. There's only the best product that matches your needs and your own capabilities. So maybe for some other customers it's not suitable, but for us, like working with you, it's very suitable, and we feel that it's a good match. And I think this is something you have to try with different partners. You have to talk to them. You need to see, can you work together with these people? Is there a good communication, a good connection? And only then you can decide to move forward and deepen that relationship with your partner.
Okay. And what do you think about what is the best aspect points for the coordinates with the teams?
I think, like I mentioned before, what I like is the style we collaborate together. We have one main contact person, but nevertheless we're the way we are working, the way we figured out we're working in a big group, like all these people from you who are in that group, and I also can communicate with them together. And I feel this makes communication fast and efficient because everybody's on the same page. Other companies, they maybe only have one contact person, and I would not even be allowed to speak to the developers And I feel like, this way, like it's easy to solve problem, because when a problem comes up, many people also can see it and evaluate it. There's a quick discussion. So I think this kind of involving anybody in the problem and the process and the project helps with the coordination on your side.
Okay. Do you feel any experience like positive or negative while working with your teams?
Also, as mentioned before, the positive points I mentioned, there are many. Negative points, well, let's say not negative, it sounds too negative. Let's say, room for improvement. That was best, especially in the beginning, communication and the project setup. In the beginning, we just didn't expect that the project would become so big. So we started on a very low level, and then from that some, let's say, issues came up. But then in the end, we reviewed it together. We changed the process, we changed the team structure, and then over time, this whole project management team or this development team got more and more stable. So I think, so in the beginning, we didn't expect the complexity, so we also didn't plan for it, so that caused some issues. But then over time, we realized that, and we put in some structures and processes, procedures, project management, proper project management, and since then, I think we have a good control over this.
Apart from the work, how do you feel our hospitality and services?
How can I say anything bad? No, very, very good.
Because it's our first time to visit our customer, our office.
No, I was very, very, friendly, very welcoming. The food, everything was handmade, cooked. How can anybody complain? You get always a good supply of coffee. That's very important. No, it's also for me the first time in India, so I'm also was very excited and very, very curious. But you all give me a very warm welcome here, and I'm really thankful that I could stay here the last 2 days.
Yeah, actually this is our first time that we three are arranging some. Generally we are arranging all arrangements like parties and all things, but the customer visit is the first time for us. That's why.
No, there's really nothing to add. Very warm, very welcome, and something new for me, like not wearing shoes in the office.
Yeah,
I really like that. I really realized it's really comfortable. It's that's something new. So for me, it's like another new experiences as well. And I'm very happy and always to see it's also for me another culture. It's not another company, but it's another new culture. To experience how you work here, how you treat each other. I think this is very good and very I think it's a very good atmosphere here. The way also the co-workers are between each other. I think it also says a lot about the company itself.
What do you feel any kind of fear in this thing in your Softhealer when you visit? Any kind of surprising things?
You mean during the visit?
Yes, during the visits.
Was not wearing shoes in the office. That was a surprise. No, but just joking. It was much more efficient than I thought. Now that I was here, and also this is the first time I come to a IT supplier. Before it's always over screen, but luckily this coincidence I could take the time to come here, and I realized actually how important it was. And only after this days we had the meetings, how important it actually was that we see each other face to face. We get to know each other. We are almost talking, not every day, but every week, several times to each other, but just over the screen. I think it helped a lot. I was surprised that it was so efficient, to answer your question, and that we could take so much out of this time here, because all this talking about how we work with each other, how we can improve the process, but also the functional work we did, with some of the modules we discussed in the future.
Yes.
I think it will be very hard to do that over a Skype session. Now, we are here and we discuss this, and I think now for the team, for the developers, for the functional people, it's very clear our requirement. And I think like this deep understanding, yeah, of course, eventually probably can do it over Skype, but it would not be that efficient. You know, here we had like 2 or 3 hours meeting, very deep. And so I was surprised, yeah, about actually how much work we were able to get done in that time and how good the quality of the work was compared to our Skype sessions we did before.
Which kind of activities you guys doing while your weekends means how you spend your weekends in your company?
Walking?
Weekends?
Walking.
Yeah.
No, walking on which weekend? No weekend, only walking. No, well, I live in Shanghai, so it may be different from my other colleagues. Usually I spend time with my girlfriend, I do sport alone or with some friends, but actually, yeah, sometimes I do work. Depends on the schedule, you know, especially like on the software part, since this is not my main job, like, you know, if there's some stuff still need to do on the weekend, I will do that as well. And then I think at the end, like everybody else, like, you know, we try to enjoy life, we try to go out, especially, you know, we Germans, we love outdoors, so whenever we have the chance, we want to go to the mountains, or we want to do anything outside. So that will be our preferred activities.
What do you feel about our cultures, the generally Indian cultures? Is it similar with your Chinese and German cultures? Is there any similarities?
Yeah, I think it's I like it very much. I mean, it's like very, I mean, also I come here, I didn't know, for example, that in this area most people don't eat meat. Personally, I don't have any problem with that. Actually, I like vegetarian food very much. But I was surprised about it. I just didn't expect it. Probably my bad not preparing myself.
Yeah, I'm also worried about that.
For the culture and you know. So yeah, no, it was very nice to see. Like again, I feel there's some similarities between China. I mean, sometimes maybe it's a bit too blunt, but it's like, you know, it is part of Asia, so it is like some common perception of things. Like, you know, India is also, you know, when you go outside on the street, it's loud and it's many people and it's very active. You know, and, China can be the same. So it's not new for me. But no, it is different, but very, very welcoming, in my understanding.
Okay. Which things inspires you most while working with your company?
I really like, and I said it the other day, that, you know, this kind of consulting business, you know, like a service industry, what you're doing, I think it's a people's business, right? It's not like you go to Amazon or what's the Indian version, Flipkart. Yes, you know, you buy a pen, it comes to your door. You don't talk to anybody. It's just like, you know, it's an automated process. But I think like in the service industry, in this kind of B2B industry, the connection to people is very important.
Yes.
And I think the how we treat each other is very important. And I always felt this was like on both sides, you know, very with a mutual respect. And this I can see, you know, we had some, it's also not difficult time, but obviously we had some challenges in our project. And you know, what inspired me to answer your question is like whenever it was needed, the people were there. Whenever it was needed, people got their job done. They were going, you know, saying like they're going the extra mile to help us as a customer to solve our problem. And I really like that because that's how we also think of our company, how we work, how we want to treat our customers and our suppliers. And I like that very much because it's like the personal engagement of people. And you know, coming back to this is a people's business. So I think this is very important.
Okay. So finally, one last question is: do you have any suggestion regarding to improve our management and our team management and like this?
Anything.
Also there, I think we discussed a little bit in the last weeks. I think it goes back to continuous improvement. I don't think there are like any big things like, you know, we would have talked about this before. But what for me is very important, and also to show this, you know, visit we had here, or like the meetings we had the last few days, so important from time to time to stop, go a step back, look at what you've done in last year and think about, okay, what was good, what was not good, and then try to improve it. And I feel, and this is what I really like, Softhealer is very open to that. Very open as a company to adapt, to learn, to, and nothing is ever perfect. I mean, like humanity always is moving forward. We wouldn't hear as humanity where if somebody said, okay, no, it's enough. we stop now,
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of in our nature, but some companies still, don't really enforce that, and they think, no, we always have done it like this, we don't want to change it. Sometimes you don't need to change it, there's a good reason for not changing it. But I feel like there's what we did the last few days, it was very valuable in terms of, we're together sitting there, and by the way, you did a great presentation before the meeting, like have these 3 pages lessons learned, which I love and it's very important for me. And then we use that information just to become better and more efficient. Just don't waste people's time, it's like getting rid of little small issues. And I think if you can continuously do that, sounds a bit, but if you continuously do that, this kind of continuous improvement, it goes a very long way, like in the future, because you don't stop like iterating little stuff. So I really hope that, on a regular basis, sometimes you can continue that. And I think if we do that, there are all these, like I said, what can we improve? I think we will anyway improve it because it's part of the process how we work together.
So finally, thank you for your feedback for this
Thank you so
Softhealer.
much, sir.
We will try to implement this as soon as possible, and enjoy your coffee.
I will. And I will probably enjoy a few more. Thank you very much for having me. It was very nice here. The last few days very efficient, and I hope to see you soon again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.